Okay, it's time for turn 17. There are no units in the water, so we don't have to do the landing phase. So we move on to the event, and we are on, like I said, turn 17. So we get remove disruption from all Japanese units. Well, it's a little too late. We just had a nighttime, so that took care of that for us. So I guess the timing for getting a crappy event was good. So now the Japanese get to go. And remember, they have a ton of reserve units. So double gold, and it's an A. So now, when you get an A action like that, and it's unoccupied, it still triggers. Even though it's a double gold, unoccupied is a weird condition. So I just need to pay attention now. And we took that gold spot there. See, that one's gone. There's a gold spot way back there, but we didn't move next to it, so we're fine. And there's a gold spot there, but it's occupied. So, and it's only occupied by one unit, so we don't get to do the double. So this double A, the A action is only triggered if there's two units, like a unit with a depth marker or that tunnel situation, like a position group. If there was an unoccupied one, we would still do the A action. And the whole reason I'm mentioning this is because they can ambush an unoccupied spot. It causes an ambush, which is really crappy. We don't like ambush. I know we haven't seen it in this particular game, but it's in Omaha Beach, and I'm sure it's just as crappy. But it's not going to happen, so we get lucky. Then we go to blue, and it's a double blue, which is also going to be very beneficial to us because there's no double blue out there. But we do have an unoccupied blue here, but we were very lucky that it wasn't a letter action. See, it's just an armor symbol, and the unoccupied spaces don't do anything with an armored symbol. So again, lucky. Then we have a green M. Now, the green M is going to be a muster action. And not mustard, but muster. Right here, there's a muster action where it's going to get a depth marker and a reserve. And that's going to for sure occur right here. Because see, this green action is 2 spaces away from here. I don't think, well, I mean, that green guy could hit this thing or this one, but it's not too big of a concern. But anyways, it is going to get a marker is what I'm trying to say. So we're going to grab from the reserve pile and then the inland depth, and it gets a depth marker because we're past turn 11, and green just mustard, which is almost the exact same thing as a reinforce. But so unlike Omaha Beach, in Omaha Beach those depth markers get used up quick, meaning that destroying depth markers accelerates your progress in the game because they won't be getting more. With this game, look at those 2 depth marker piles. There's still tons and tons of them available. So not quite as exciting. Nowhere else is there a green that we need to concern ourselves with. And remember, the rule is you only do something if, okay, so 2 things. If it's unoccupied, you only do something if it's within 2 spaces of a US unit. If it's occupied, you always look at it, but if it's on the other end of the map, it's probably not going to mean anything. But yes, every occupied green space would act right now, except that green space that's occupied is way over there, and it doesn't do jack diddly. In fact, looking at it, it would do no action at all, or it would do a mortar fire where it shoots 4 spaces away, and as you can see, there's nothing within 4 spaces of it. Considering the fact that they had all their disruption markers removed, I would say we got pretty lucky. And here's why I'm saying that. This brown would have devastated us. I mean, he gets to kill 2 units, and there's 1, and there's 2. So that would have been quite bad. Also, a reinforce action would have been bad because we had a couple spots where they could have come in and reinforce. So now we get to do another another event, and the event is once again remove disruption from all Japanese units. And I'm crying because right there we would have gotten another artillery. The artillery, in my mind, is actually quite helpful having them. So that artillery that's sitting there is pretty damn safe. And I think the entire game, he's going to make the rest of the Japanese positions have a world of hurt. So I'm very happy to have it. And the fact that it's only a 4 strength is fine. It's the unlimited range on it that makes it awesome. And every turn we can barrage something as long as it's revealed, or if it's a coastal one, we can barrage it anyways. I'm very happy to have that one artillery. I wish we would have gotten the other 2. Somebody posted on Facebook while I was getting a drink, there's a solitaire war games group I'm a part of, that this game is the hardest of all the D-Day games, and they're having a hard time with their current play. And the thing is the way these early turns went, I was having a hard time as well, but I really think I'm doing okay right now. Whether or not I'm moving fast enough to take the positions, I don't know. That's the one thing I haven't gauged yet, is given the fact that there's about 10 plus turns left in this game, am I going at the right pace? That much I can't tell you. I think a large part of it is because I got to get these command posts going. But with all that said, I'm very happy. We've cleared out a very large chunk of the middle of this island, and at least the bird's beak is under control, and I'm pretty happy with that. So moving on, it is now the engineer phase, and for the first time, we get to advance this by 1. Then our other decision is this hero, or this HQ, is now eligible to flip. And you got to remember, with a range of 5, this HQ up here can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reach this. This HQ with a range of 5, they're going to have a huge overlap with each other. So is that really what I want? And my honest answer with you is I have no clue if that's really what I want. The one thing I can tell you is at the end of last turn, I was supposed to move him. He would only been allowed to move 1 space, but where he currently is isn't all that good. So here's the other problem, is let's say I flip him right where he's at. He goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way. We still have this whole tail that we have to take and worry about. And I don't know. I just don't think that it's a great location. I think if I can get him to this red spot, it's then, or actually this green spot's the perfect spot right here. So I think that's what I need to do. And I also, for sure, need to get him moved so I can give out free actions, because this is nonsense, what's happening right now. But we do get 3 of these. So it is now peanut butter action time. With those 3 garrison markers, I am for sure going to garrison some things. And let's get this one and that one garrisoned. So now I reserve the right to change my mind, of course, if I decide I need to use them for other purposes. But at the moment, garrisoning is the king. And for example, I'm already going to change my mind on one of these. So this orange one, I'm going to put a garrison here. I can't go here because there is an orange fire circle there. I could go here though, and I will do that. I'm going to take another one of those garrison markers I put down, and it's going to go right there. So actions. From an action perspective, he just needs a DE and FT. This guy has everything to destroy that. So this is now out of the game, or at least in the eliminated units section. So we got that. Looking at our inspired units, things of that nature, we have brown, of course, up here, which is worth going after, and then this gold one's been a big problem child. So I'm going to go in for the gold. He needs to be flanked. So I can go 1, 2, 3, like that. And then this one, we need a radio, so I have to have a hero. And so this hero will go in to flank him that way. Now here's my problem. This hero is also a tank that can barrage him. And the problem is I need a hero to provide the radio. Because none of these guys has a radio, I don't think. Oh no, he has a radio. Never mind. So yes, this guy will go in and this one's going to barrage. Is a hero good enough for a barrage? Remember, tanks can only barrage if certain things happen. It has to be in the field of fire of the target hex, or an undisrupted infantry or engineer unit occupies a hex in the field of fire of the target hex. It's observing for the tank. In order for an infantry unit to observe for the tank, either the tank unit or the observing unit must be in command of an HQ. So we cannot barrage. That's what blows about that. And so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to move it here. So now it's next to the infantry, so it can support the attack. And I'm clogging up purple, so nobody can reinforce that. This here is a problem child, because remember they snuck in and took this. Right now we do have communication blocked, but if they draw an infiltrate, they could somehow show up there again, which is awful. But I'm going to take that risk, because not only do they have to draw an infiltrate, it has to be a brown infiltrate. So I still have 3 actions, and I reserve, I might, oh yeah, because if I move him, then I leave that one open. So nope, I'm going to do that. You know what I can do is I can barrage with my artillery. So that guy, I'm very concerned about him because he has intense fire all around him, and I'm going to barrage with my artillery that I was just talking about. So death from afar, I just need an orange, and my artillery is a diamond. So orange or diamond, and there I go, I got the diamond. And the reason that worked is it would not have worked if he had a depth marker, but he doesn't have a depth, so just matching the symbol was enough. So there you go. If this wasn't PG-13, I would maybe raise certain fingers towards him. He was a pain in the butt. Okay, and then we have this one, which I do want to attack, but if I do, I also need to defeat him. So that would be 2 of my 3 actions. So I'm putting 2 actions down, and I am going to do it because these 2 can flank, right? They got the flank, and he has the DE. So this gets taken off, and then we have a naval artillery. Okay, that's awful. So I don't have the naval artillery. I don't even have a naval artillery marker. So I can do what's called an optional attrition to remove the naval artillery depth marker, but then that means one of my units takes a hit. So which one? Is it going to be the tank? And I hate hitting another unit. I mean, this unit is a nice strong unit, but I do have to hit it. So he's going to take a hit, and it's A12. So now he's down to 2. And yes, we destroyed the depth marker. And he's disrupted. If it was anything other than a depth marker, we would have, and assuming we had the weapons requirements, we would have destroyed both of them. So that wasn't fun. Over here, I can't do anything because I'm disrupted. So I would love to do a close combat with him, but I can try to disrupt it if a tank can disrupt. So this one, the command post has a range of 2. So we now have actions for all of these guys. And so this one can shoot 7 spaces away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this tank is going to try to disrupt that coastal red unit. And I don't get a red. What symbol is the tank? The tank is a triangle. We got lucky. But he is disrupted because he had no depth marker. And I still have 1 action left. I'm looking. Okay, so the artillery is really not going to move. He's just, he already attacked. At some point, I might move the artillery onto the HQ unit just because I don't want him to get hit by anything. And he has unlimited range, so he just needs to be a part of the HQ. Now, these other guys get stuff. So this one gets a free action because of the HQ, and I'm moving it where the tank is because we don't want anybody taking this green. This guy has a range of 3, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 and rob Japan from having that spot. And with his range of 3, he can now hit this. This tank can also hit from far away. This guy fires intense fire all around him. I'm not quite ready to charge in on brown yet. I'm just going to sit tight with them. Oh, and actually this tank already barraged, so he can't move. But both of them together is a strength of 4, so it's not a concentrated unit. And now I can move that tank if I wanted to in the future and not have to worry about losing that green spot. Everything else I would need an action to do. And you can see I got this big log jam here. And moving over to here, this guy still only influences 1 in all directions. And this guy, I have to be, I mean, this one would go away if Japan is ever on the red spot. But believe it or not, this spot here, oh, that's me. Never mind. That's me. So the only one that gets a free action is this guy. I do have a move of 3. The problem is this is an intense fire, and if I move here, I make this a concentrated unit. So I don't want to necessarily do any of that. This green is troublesome, but I got to be careful because he shoots pretty far out. I don't need to keep this here, though. He needs to move. So I think what I'm going to do is go... I don't know what to do with him. There's places I want to move him to, like here, but I don't want him taking fire. I don't want him here because the palm trees reduces his strength. And he only shoots 2 spaces, so he doesn't hit anything anyways. I would like to move him here, but obviously I have a disrupted unit there. And I still get 1 more action, and I might do something with it. I wasn't ready to flip this guy to a command post yet, so I do need to move him too. So I think what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3. I'm moving him here. So we're going to get free actions for everybody. So I think that determines my decision. I'm going to move this guy 1 space to there. So now he's at least in free action zone. So all of them are going to get free actions. And yes, right now these guys are all stranded on the beach with no free actions. So I am going to spend my 3rd action to try to get one of them out of that situation so they can at least start doing something. And I think what I'm going to do is get this tank moving 1, 2, 3, and see, now he's within range of that command post. So this tank and that tank can both start barraging the crap out of coastal spots. This here is not a coastal spot, so I can't disrupt him. Oh, I hate that. So that means this tank can do something, And so he's going to go 1, 2, 3. So that way he is now able to hit units this way. And with this command post being here, I am going to get some free actions eventually. I just need to get through a few more turns. So again, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. This one with a range of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The free actions are going to make it to here, but all these guys that you see here are not getting free actions. Now, if I would have flipped my HQ unit there, then these guys would have gotten free actions and can get off the beach. So is that worth doing? And my current answer is no. So I'm going to put that HQ right back where he was, and I'm not going to do any close combat with that Japanese unit. The only unit that could have was the tank. And I could have used my third action for that tank, but I chose not to. So is this an intense fire zone for brown? No, it's not. But basically, we don't want to get brown right now. Brown seems to be the problem child. And that's the end of the turn. So we move to turn 18. No amphibious landings. So we would get an event. And so the event we're getting is flanking fire from infiltrators hits 1 U.S. unit in water. Well, we have no units in water, so there's nothing to worry about there. And here's what we get for the Japanese action. We get a double purple. I don't see a double purple, so I think we're okay there. And it's got the tank symbol. Now these M symbols, they suck because that means things are happening. So for example, this green here is going to do a mortar action because nobody's in his field of fire. Well, actually he is. So let me check. So it's an inland position where units are in a field of fire. It's going to fire with machine guns. So the machine gun thing is, oh, just gotta find it. So the machine gun is that it a non-armored U.S. unit within the target symbol indicated on the fire card are disrupted. I think it means that, I think machine gun lets it shoot like a tank. I have to look that up. I don't understand what the whole point of a machine gun is. Because it only does a machine gun. It's firing with machine guns. See 6.31 on the fire chart. If I go to 6.31, it doesn't explain one lick diddly about machine guns. Oh, if the position is firing with machine guns, units in hexes that have no dots at all and are adjacent to hexes with intense fire dots. So that's what it does. Okay, so it's shooting at triangle. This guy takes a hit, unfortunately, because he's in the green zone, and that's not even with the machine gun. So he takes a hit, and then this one doesn't. And it's saying, okay, see, that's an intense fire zone, so the machine gun would hit here and here as well. That's what it's trying to say. And the machine gun doesn't necessarily do a hit. It just disrupts you. But it did its damage. Our 3-range guy is now reduced to 2-range, and it was one of our heavy infantry, so he's one of our better ones. Now, what's interesting is even though he took a hit, he still has all of the weapons. So that's pretty impressive, but his range got reduced by 1, and so did his strength. All right, so let's look around. Are there any other greens? I don't see any. So now we go do a double brown. So the double brown is shooting at triangle, and we do have a double brown, and it's an A action. This double brown here has nobody in his firing range, even though these 2 units are near him. So we got to look at what the A action is for an inland unit, and he's ambushing. So one U.S. unit with indicated target symbol in position's field of fire is hit. I think that might include the tank, which that blows. See the Japanese fire chart and 12.9. Let me look up the ambush action. No, ambush happens if it's unoccupied. My apologies. This is an assault action. Ambush happens if it was empty. This is a different situation. It's going to be an assault. Now this one would be the ambush situation, but we cut off his communication path. This guy in particular cuts off these two, and this guy is personally cutting off that one. So we have that one blocked. But this one here doesn't do anything because this is a double, see, it's a double brown. So nothing happens there. There's no other unoccupied browns that are within two spaces. Now this one is a brown, and nobody is in, oh, actually, we have people in his line of fire, but he's not, okay, I back up. These are a double brown because these are tunneled together. So we do have a double brown here, and I may have missed that in previous turns. My apologies. So they're going to do an A action, and there are people in their line of fire. So let me look at it. And is this a coastal? Yes, it is. So it's a coastal unit. A action, it just fires. So anybody with a triangle gets hit. This does not get hit because it's a tank. This triangle, however, does get hit. K38. That's unfortunate. So this one is reduced to that. And by the way, his disruption marker would have been removed at the end of last turn. So we did take one hit, but there's 3 units here, so they can hit 4 possible units, but there's no other brown that it can hit. So that one just stinks. We do need to take those out. Now this is the one that's going to do the assault. So it's going to assault whoever's closest, which will be this one. And I know it says it assaults the weakest one, but this is a tank. I guess it would assault the tank, wouldn't it? So I think it's going to assault the tank because that's the weakest one next to it. So this unit here, this is where it gets weird. I think the Butterfield said that every one of these is going to assault. So this one would assault the tank, and we're going to assume, who does this one assault? Oh, and it's always left to right. So this one would assault the tank. So let's start. The good news is it gets revealed. So we have that revealed. 2. He gets 1 for his unit and 1 for the CC. Then he gets 1 because he's attacking. So he has 3 cards. And then the tank's going to get 2 cards. Like that. He goes first. It's a brown. He misses. We go with the tank, and we miss. He goes. He has a brown. He hits our tank, and our tank takes a hit. And then we lose a card. So then he has 1 final attack, and he misses. So that happens, and then he's disrupted, and so are we. So disrupted and disrupted. So then I think what happens is the next units also attack the tank. And so we... Now, the thing is you can't be... Yeah, you can be attacked. So here, this is a close combat one. and a flank and FT flamethrower. So here's the good news. They're revealing themselves. So 2 cards because it's 2 units, 1 because it's attacking, and 1 more because it's a CC, and 1 more because it's over strength 4. He has a lot of cards. And then the tank only has 1 strength, so he just gets 1 card. This tank is toast. Okay, so they go first. They didn't get a brown. We're disrupted, and we lose the disruption marker. Then they go again, and no brown. And here's where we can choose to withdraw, and I think we should. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my attack in. Let's do our attack, and then we'll withdraw. So we attack, and we have a brown, and we do hit those bastards. So he loses his depth marker, and he loses a card, which would have hit us. So now he goes, and he hits us, and our tank is destroyed. So that's a win for him. And then, of course, he's disrupted. Now, here's the good news with close combat. So there's this guy who chats with me quite regularly. And thank you, Andrew, for all your support. He told me I was not going to like close combat. And I pretty much don't. But the one thing I do like about it is right now. So they eliminated my tank. And in Omaha Beach, they would do crap like that to me anyways. But I had this situation where they were completely unrevealed inland units. Now they're both revealed and they're disrupted. So guess what I can do? I can swarm on him like an ant and take him out. Unfortunately, I got this situation where all these units are covered, but I still I have an opportunity now to basically make his life miserable. And I couldn't do that in the old game. So yeah, would I be willing to lose a tank in order to have that ability? I have no idea, but if I would just blindly charge him with intense fire all around and then I draw a brown, I'm going to be taking a lot of casualties anyways. So anyways, that's the weirdness about it. They did their assault. I do think it's very thematic that the Japanese do this. And I'm assuming that the other D-Day games are also against Japan. I think Omaha Beach is the only one that goes against Germany. So I'm expecting close combat's going to be in those ones too. I'm very grateful for all of you helping me with Omaha Beach. I really feel like this game's going smoother because of that. Even though this is my first time ever playing this one, I think I'm doing it much better. So thank you. Thank you all for that. And if you choose to be a sassy pants this far in, then more power to you. Okay, it is our engineer phase. The HQ units still only has a range of 2, but he moves up. And we do still get 3 garrisons. And I can very confidently say I'm going to put one of them right here on the blue. So this guy is free to charge. And I'm going to put another one here. So he's free to charge. Now the third one, I could put here so he could also charge. And in fact, I will. So yes, I'm making executive decisions really quick there with them, but I'm definitely going in for the kill. Because we just got a golden opportunity that we wouldn't have had otherwise. So now actions. This gold guy needs to go down. These guys all get free actions. I need flank and radio. This guy, I think, has the radio, and we're flanking, so these 2 will attack, and he's destroyed. Easy peasy and lemony squeezy. Okay, so the unfortunate part is he goes back in the reserve pool because he's in communication. He's an elite unit, and he had communication pathways, not here, but there. He could have escaped out and easily hit 2 other Japanese units. So that part was unfortunate, but I get to move with all these guys, and this one gets to move up to 3 spaces. So I'm going to go ahead and move him here. And yes, we need to get some garrisons out so we can cut all this off. This guy can't move either because he's on purple. So I'm going to just sit tight with those guys, and we got to basically, communication is cut off everywhere, and next turn 3 garrison units need to be used here. Maybe even, I have 4 spots that need garrisons. So our engineers are going to be busy for a while. Okay, moving on. We have 3 actions. I'm pretty sure action 1 is here and action 2 is there. But let's look at this guy is still disrupted. This one is a problem. He is not considered coastal. So what I'm going to do is attack him with this guy for my 3rd action. Yes. This guy is going to attack him, and then this tank way out here is being influenced by the engineer, or by the command post, so he can support the attack from far away. He just, I think he still is able to provide, he has to be 3 or less to provide a machine gun, and he doesn't have that. So let's get it revealed, and there you can see he needs a flamethrower and a machine gun, which we don't have, but this is 2 and 4 is 6 to his 3, which is doubled to 6, so we're equal. And that's actually a problem. We're disrupted. So we get disrupted. And he actually gets a depth marker. So that was not necessarily a smart thing for me to do. So the fact that he was in a building doubled him to 6 and my 4 was not enough. What I should have done is this artillery could have helped, but I can't look at the results and then say, oh yeah, I should have added my artillery, but I should have. So now my artillery can barrage it, but the thing is the rules say you can't barrage a place that was also attacked. You can't do that. So I'm stuck. And this guy just got stronger, and this unit is disrupted, and I can destroy it, but I would need 2 actions. So can't do anything there. Stuck is the right word. Now, this one's a brown unit that I can hit with the artillery, and I am contemplating that. Trying to see who else I can. So this artillery here is actually going to barrage that brown unit up there because that's a coastal unit. So we're going to do that. And I don't have a brown, but I have a diamond. And the artillery unit is a diamond. So I was able to disrupt him. And now we come back to here. And this HQ you can see is giving free stuff. And so we're going to do close combat. The tank, this unit, and the hero. So we have 3 pips. So we're going to get 3 cards for that, but then we have a hero, so we get a 4th card. And then they're going to get 2 cards because they have a CC printed on them, and then it's 1 unit. They're not disrupted, so they get to go first. It is a brown. And of course they drew a brown. And I think I'm going to take a hit with the unit. So he goes down to a 1, and then we lose our top card, which would have reinforced him. So that was actually a blessing in disguise there. So then we get to go, and there's no brown. He gets to go, and he's brown again. So we're going to lose our unit completely. And that's K38. Just bear with me. I like to put this stuff back where it belongs. And then we have 2 left, and there's our brown. We finally got rid of this very pesky dude. He's eliminated because it was close combat. And we did lose our unit, but we have all kinds of free moves here. And so this one would go 1, 2, like that. This one's being shot at by purple. This one we have to be really careful because he's got 4 pips. This one only has 3 pips, so I can move him on top of the tank. This one will move here. And our HQ unit, I will move to there, I guess. So I'm concerned that those brown units are very tough. With the tunnel system that they have there, this is going to be actually quite the challenge to crack. The HQ unit is going to help. The fact that I can't move these guys is killer. But then with these guys, I'm moving in for the kill. So 1, 2, I don't want to move here because this purple guy can actually fire there. And then this one, I will move 1 space to here. So now we got these guys surrounded. This one in particular needs to be flanked, which he is. And he needs a flamethrower, which we got. This one needs close combat, which we will take care of some other time. Our command post is just a little out of reach. Next turn, he's going to have a range of 3, 1, 2, 3, and you can see I'm just out of range again. So I want to get my HQ positioned, and this is a good spot, I guess, because from here he can get these guys, you know, free moved in. But again, there's just some soft spots right now that I just need an infinite number of actions, and I don't have it in these HQs. You can always move them. So like I could have set up a command post here, gotten a range 2, and flushed all of this out, and then just move the HQ. And it just means I start back at range 1 again next time. That's probably not a bad idea. And in retrospect, I probably should have done that because this is a huge problem. Look at all this strength, and it's just sitting there on the beach with nobody telling him to do anything. So, do I want to do that? I mean, I'm sitting in this situation where this HQ unit was here. He can move 3 spaces. So I can go 1, 2, 3, and then get these 2 out of there. This one doesn't need to move. That's my problem, is he has to spend a lot of turns to do that. So I'm just going to move forward. I'm going to commit to my original goal. And yeah, I'm in a little bit of a pickle where I'm trying to be too perfect, and as a result, I don't have enough actions. But okay, so we're moving to turn 19. I'm running out of disk space. So if my video abruptly ends, you'll know why. I don't need to shuffle just yet. There's no inland anything going on. We are on turn 19. So then we just have to sorry, I'm just trying to rethink my last turn. I forgot, one of the other things I'm realizing is we had a brown and I forgot to do this tank. It was a brown assault. So that tank would have done what's called a double advance. So it would have at least moved once to there. It would not have fired, because once it advances, it doesn't fire. It would have tried to advance again, but there's nowhere to advance to. But it would have at least done that much. And that does create a challenge, because that's not a very, very nice thing. So anyways, all All right, so there's no landing, so we just do the event. We're on turn 19. So we get a hero. Very good. We still have 4 of those markers, so the game was worried about us running out of hero markers. Okay, so there is 1 unit over here I could put a hero marker on, but I'm not going to do that. I think I need to do what I said I need to do. I need to get these guys off the beach. So I'm going to give a hero to this guy who has a range 3 heavy infantry. He's an all-around badass. So I'm going to do that. And let's get him moving and start taking over some stuff. So that's right. That guy was disrupted because we attacked with him. All other disruption markers should be gone. And they are. Okay, so now the million-dollar question is who's attacking us? And go from there. I think we have a gold. R. So gold reinforce. I don't see any gold within 2 spaces of us that's occupied or unoccupied. So we're good there. The double blue is going to do an A, which is an assault. So the blue would do close combat. And however, this one's the tank one. And I think instead it's going to do a double advance or fire. So it's going to fire, and that is blue. So we are in its range, but there's no armor symbol, and so I don't get hit. So this tank, it fires, but it fires 1 beyond the range. So let's think about this. So that means it would hit here, but he's not a circle. Does blue go to there? Yes, it does. So that means he hits here, but there's not a circle. So we got really lucky against that tank. He didn't hurt anybody. And then we have a double brown who's going to shoot at circles, and of course he hits armor. Now the double brown does activate. First of all, this one just loses his disruption marker. No harm, no foul there. These 2 are going to lose their disruption marker. They would have qualified as a double brown because they are tunneled together. So the disruption helped us. Now these 2 are a double brown. So with a tank action, all they're doing is firing. And this is not an intense fire. It's not a circle. So he doesn't get hit. And brown doesn't. Oh, brown does reach there. So here's the question. We are here. This is a position group. We're in the position group, and they actually can hit this spot. And I think the rule is that they can hit the spot. So unfortunately, our unit here, which was a badass, is taking a hit. So it's D12 is being reduced to just 2 strength. And that hurts because he had all of his weapons and he was doing fantastic. So we're definitely taking a lot of hits here. Not very excited about that. And then we draw another event. And you can see we're on turn 19. There isn't even an event for turn 19. So I'm assuming nothing happens in that situation. I've never had that happen before. And now it's our engineer phase. So our HQ unit does have a range of 3, which is going to help. And we do get our 3 engineer markers. 1, 2, 3. And yes, I'm going to garrison, and garrison. Okay, so what are we going to do? We have guys here who are now active. We have guys everywhere that are active, to be quite honest. This over here is always a cluster bomb, and we keep taking hits after hits. I definitely want to get rid of green here, but he has intense fire all around him, and I think what we want to do is wait for him to draw an assault so he close combats us. So what I think we want to do is attack this with him, and this guy was going to be able to support, but the tank can support him. So we're going to have a 7 attack on him. So we reveal. It needs mortar and bazooka, and the tank has both mortar and bazooka. So he is an easy kill. So he does have communication, so he goes back into the reserve units. But he's out. So they are no longer double brown, which is good. And we get to move 3 spaces. This is not even a brown fire, but it's purple. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this guy 1, 2, 3, like so, and get him in here. And then this hero, I really want to get into that green spot and make a command post, but right now I'm just going to make the hero go here so we get free actions for everybody. And this guy does get to do something. That is an intense fire. I don't like that. This, however, is also intense fire, but it could help us eliminate the green. So I'm going to actually leave my hero there. We're going to try to take out the green, and that's a risky move, but that's all we can do. I know I said I was going to wait, but I changed my mind. So these two both need actions. Unfortunately, they're just out of range. This has a range of 3. And so they both need actions. And then with a range of 3, we can get this guy going. So he'll go 1, 2, 3. And then the unfortunate part is I need actions here too. Thankfully, he's disrupted. So lots to do. First things first is my artillery is going to barrage this spot right here. And so it's a red, and I do hit with the red, and it's a strength 4 artillery, so we at least disrupted this guy. And then my tank here is going to try to disrupt the other tank. So let's try again, and that tank is a blue, so we miss there. And now we can do this attack here. This is a close combat, but this one's a flank, so it's pretty easy to spend 2 actions. We eliminate him, and he gets to escape because he has communication path through this spot. Even though we have a all around us, this is a communication. So one thing I could do is spend 1 less action and attack this guy, but it's not as guaranteed because he's a close combat. So I am going to destroy this, but he does live to fight another day. Right now the reserve pile is so thick that I'm not caring that they're getting away because it's a very thick pile. This guy gets to move, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3 and just take that brown spot immediately. And that was a free action. So I have a hero here who gets to move 3 spaces. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. I know that's a concentrated unit, but no one can fire on it. And so that hero can start getting in the action. We got all these guys over here. We have 2 spots that are open and available. So here we're going to go 1, 2, 3 and take it. And this guy is very powerful. This one is not as powerful. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 and take that. And then this hero is going to go 1, 2. Yeah, that's an intense field zone. And this one will go 1, 2, 3. Like that. I should have saved my artillery and and suppressed him, but I wasn't thinking. Okay. I do have one more action. So I'm trying to contemplate what that will be. It'll probably be get somebody off the beach since everybody else is disrupted. So coming back over to here, I can get, for example, this guy's a full strength guy. I can get him off the beach, but then where do I put him? I can try to get one of these guys off the beach to go help that headquarters over there, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So with a 3 move, I can go 1, 2, 3, but he's not quite in range. This one I don't want to move because he's the reason I'm getting the garrison points. So I'm just out of range of moving these guys 3 spaces. They still wouldn't be in the range of the HQ. So I need another action next turn to get them off the beach. But it's still... Now, one other thing I can do is, like, if I move up to here, I am getting in the range of this command post. So just by moving them up a little bit, I'm getting them in range. And this guy goes 1, 2, 3. As soon as he has 4, we're going to get into there. So this command post is going to start being able to hit those corners. But eventually the command post is going to be able to move them too. Yeah, because he eventually gets a range of 5. So I will use my last action to just move this guy 1, 2, 3 and get him in the range of the command post. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting a little stagnant here. And there's definitely a lot of opportunities for the Japanese to hurt me bad. But I'm going to move on. My battery is low, so that usually means I have to quit for a while. These videos take a couple hours to upload, quite a few hours in fact. So we are moving to turn 20. I will put it on turn 20, and then we'll just call it, and I'll find something to do for an hour and get these videos uploaded. So thank you for watching. We are 11 turns away from ending this game. I complain and whine because I always complain and whine, but I think we're doing well. I really, really do. I think these garrisons are the key to getting our troops moving, and we're basically dividing this island in half. We just went up and divided it in half, so now we're going to have Japanese units here who eventually are going to be cut off from communication. Because remember, they only get communication if they can trace to 2 other Japanese units, and they can't use beach hexes. So by cutting up through the middle, I know there's still a whole bunch of units in there, but eventually we're going to reduce them enough that they're not going to be able to communicate, and we're going to be able to eliminate them from the game. This corner here is, in my opinion, as good as toast, assuming we don't draw a brown next turn. And this area here is actually quite tough, and I'm running into some strong resistance there. This spot up here can be super deadly if they get the right reinforce action. So anyways, thank you for watching. I'm having a lot of fun. This is, you know, as fun as Omaha Beach. Omaha Beach, I think I might like that one more, but it doesn't mean it's less fun to play this. For this being a sequel, if you will, it has a lot of that similarity, but what I do applaud it for is that it didn't try to just remake Omaha Beach, but now it's against Japan. I mean, yeah, that is what it did, but it has some thematic things that are specific to Japan. This is like an 18XX game. 18XX games are always about trains. No matter what, you're always delivering and making revenue and buying and selling shares of stock, and your personal net wealth is what wins you the game. That doesn't change from one to the other, but every 18XX game you play will have some thing that's different. They either mess with the way the market works, or they have, like there was this really cool China one where you actually have this communism phase, and you know, if you're in Africa, you got all this port and shipping to worry about. If you're in South America, you got the Amazon jungle. There's always some neat little twist to it. But they always preserve the thing that you like most about 18XX, and that's the way the economics work. This is similar. It's got the, it has the same core elements, but it's very different. And yes, I am having fun. I'm also frustrated sometimes, but it's good. I think if there's anything I'm frustrated the most about is I think I'm not playing my HQs correctly. I think I really should have made command posts and gotten my units off the beach. Because if I would have gotten those units, I mean, look at all these units on the beach. If I would have gotten them off, I think I'd be steamrolling right now. But anyways, enough rambling. Stay awesome.